And it was basically allowing myself to feel the full spectrum of emotions.
Hey man, it's Man Up Mondays where we build our mental muscles through motivation, so keep moving!
Hey guys, it's Man Up Mondays, and we continue on the series, what's one thing you wish your dad taught you, or, maybe he wasn't around, or maybe never got the chance to teach you. Well, we have with us today Luke, and he will be sharing a little bit with us from his perspective. Luke, welcome.
Hey.
Tell us, Luke, you're from England, but where are you living now? I forget where you are in the States.
Oh, yeah. So I live in the States, live in Seattle at the moment. A little city outside called Issaquah.
Awesome, awesome. And what's the weather like over there right now?
Standard like Seattle, grey, a bit cloudy, just not a lot to see out the window, but yeah, winter, right?
No worries. So talk to me, Luke. What was that like for you? What's maybe one thing that you really wish your dad had taught you, and maybe you never experienced that, and just how it impacted
you? Yeah. So this is kind of a weird one, and I guess I wondered about it for a little while, and this is the one that popped into my head, and it was basically allowing myself to feel the full spectrum of emotions, and yeah, and I guess with the aim of like being full of life, like being fully alive for myself, and also being alive for the people around me, and being able to sort of like, engage fully with emotions.
Oh, so tell me a little bit about that. Give me an example, like as you were growing up, what did that look like?
Yeah, well, I guess a little bit of the background. One of the things that I learned about it that was really key for this whole thing was like, basically all emotions are actually connected. Yes. So like, if you try and numb or suppress one of them, like the bad ones that you might have or perceive as bad ones, like sadness or anger, what you actually end up doing is reducing your ability to feel the other ones, the good ones that maybe you want to feel more, like joy and happiness and things like that. And so I learned that maybe a few years ago in a school, and I really started to try and like apply that into my life. I think growing up, I perceived myself as like a fairly jolly, happy guy, and I think naturally I am. So in a way, I probably just steered myself away from sadness and anger and things like that. I didn't want to be perceived as that kind of person. And so I probably shut them down a little bit in my life. And I know, I guess being married, I want to be able to relate as fully as I can to my wife, and, like be able to empathize with difficult things that she's going through, or like if she's feeling angry, and being able to feel emotions. I wanted to engage in that a lot more, really.
Wow. How did you go about actually learning how to tap into some of those emotions that you had suppressed over the years? Yeah,
well, just being aware of situations when you're kind of feeling a little bit of the emotion and not shutting it down. So an example is actually like, probably a silly example, you might think this is strange, but even just like driving in your car, someone cuts you up, and I think I probably would have been used to just being like, oh, that's cool, just not like engaging with the moment and allowing myself to feel frustration. But I just, over the last few years, I've just been practicing, like not in a way that the emotion takes me over, but in a way that I allow my body and myself to feel it, just feel the frustration, and not let it do anything that's negative or bad, but just sort of like be, like that was kind of annoying, and that's okay. I can feel the effects of that. But so that was something I've been trying to do.
Whoa. So you're keeping it in the balance, not too much on the left, not too much on the right, but kind of engaging with how you're feeling.
Exactly. Another like analogy for it is like your emotions are almost like the mental nerve of your body, and so like in your body you need to feel what's damaging or hurting your body, and in the same way, like emotions allow you to perceive like the world around you and identify what's like healthy for you, like what's good for your life, and what's like damaging for you. Like if someone's doing something that is like mentally hurting you, like your body allows you to perceive that. And so it's kind of just taking note of the emotions and allowing yourself to kind of like feel them a little bit. But yeah, like you said, not letting them go too far that you're like letting them rule your life. I think you need to control them, not letting them out of control, but just allowing yourself to like feel them.
But even as you tap into marriage, I feel like guys, we don't always grow up with a wide vocabulary to express ourselves emotionally. You know, when in most cases, in my experience, if you show any signs of weakness, you're always encouraged to toughen up or toughen it out or push it through or don't cry, whatever. And how do you see that where as boys, we don't always get to express ourselves fully to tap into our emotions and, maybe becoming a husband or growing up further on in life, it kind of makes us a bit handicapped, especially when we get into marriage. Like, how do you see it from that perspective?
Yeah, I think that's really true. I think there's definitely a perception that guys shouldn't cry, guys shouldn't feel. But I think we need to turn it around and be like, guys should be raw and should be able to really like relate to the world around them. Like we're not computers, like we're different from the digital world because we can feel and have life. And so I think for a guy to be vulnerable enough and strong enough to share his emotions should actually be like a celebrated thing. I think like my wife is really happy for me to be, I think she likes me to be emotionally strong and not like crying all the time. But there have been times when over the last few years I have cried for over a situation or something, and it's like shown her that either there's something wrong or that I really care about that situation, and that she's then like responded in a big way and actually been like, okay, like we need to do something about this. This is not right, because she's seen that expression of my emotions. So being able to do that for her and be free to do that was quite like a valuable thing in our relationship.
It can be so interesting because on one hand, I feel like, women want us to show our emotion, but then if we show too much, it's just like, but what would you say to guys out there who are having this kind of experience and, just never really had a dad to groom them, how to grow into that or to affirm that in them? What would you encourage them to do?
Yeah, I just say, don't be afraid of your emotions. Just tap into them. I think you want to live a full life. Like you want to live a life where you relate to people and can be real and can be vibrant. And like I said earlier on, all the emotions are connected. And so trying to just be happy and jolly all the time and suppressing some of the other ones, like it's not really a very healthy thing to do. And so for yourself and for people around you, I'd say, engage with your emotions. Don't shut them down. Do it in a safe way that you're controlled. And go for it. That's it.
I like the part that you add when you say do it in a safe way, because I think it's the whole idea of being vulnerable that kind of makes some of us pull back from doing it, because it's just like, if I do this, what are people gonna think of me, or that sort of thing. And so it's to be able to do it in safe spaces, to the point where you're confident, like, okay, I can actually do more of this, or not feel like I have to hide and cry or hide and whatever. Because I love how you put it. If you suppress one emotion, you're technically suppressing other emotions, because you're kind of not building the muscles.
Yeah.
Wow. I really love your perspective on that. This is really great. Is there anything else that you'd want to add to that?
No, not really. I think you put in a lot of good points there too.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Luke, for joining us today and for really just sharing that part of your experience. I really hope that it will encourage and be a positive impact on some of you guys out there. And this is Man Up Mondays. See you next time. I'm your host, Teiko, and we'll connect again soon. One love.